previously on the assignment. The Mission 111 team were excited to land in the Mara Mara region, home of the Barona tribe. But their welcome wasn't what they had hoped for. In fact, they weren't even sure if they would be allowed to stay. Tribal leaders knew nothing of their arrival and held an emergency meeting to discuss necessary action. To make matters worse, the team has landed in the middle of a water shortage.
Things are very, very, very dry.
I went to go look at all the water things and they're completely flipped over.
None.
Welcome to the assignment. Here is a quick recap for those of you who are just tuning in.
Guys, how do you feel now that you made it this far?
8 people has gathered for the challenge of their lifetime. 6 weeks of boot camp training in California, preparing them for the assignment going into a tribe. Boarding a plane from Los Angeles, destination Ethiopia. Arriving in Addis Ababa, preparing, packing into a minibus to make their journey down to the Kenya border in the midst of the desert. Join us as things are heating up. This is a true test of their faith.
The team has survived their first night with the Mara Mara tribe. There's no lack of sun here as the temperature climbs rapidly. But even though they're thousands of miles away from home, some things never change. Once a lady, always a lady.
Everybody's making fun of me, but hey.
I had a great night's sleep, 2 sleeping pills. If not, I don't think I would have been up by 1 o'clock in the morning, and I think I went to sleep at 12. But it's been a nice time, nice and cool outside. Half of the crew went inside, and they said it was really hot. We figured that, so we slept outside. We took chances with the snakes, and we won.
See the sun coming up down there this morning, which is gorgeous. We're going to have pancakes for breakfast. No measuring cups, so it's all going to be done by shake and bake. But it should be good. It might be too hot. Goodness, look at that. Oh! Okay, these are good. I don't want to take them anymore because I'll burn them.
Best pancakes this side of Owasso. We were told when we were coming out here that we couldn't wear shorts, so I didn't bring shorts. But now that we're out here, everyone's wearing shorts. And it's gonna get really, really hot today, and I got really, really hot yesterday, and it kind of made me sick to my stomach. And so I figured I've got a knife, I've got pants, therefore I have shorts. So I'm making my own shorts right now.
One of the things we need to do this morning is to have a meeting with the council, just to get their blessing on what it is that we're going to do while we're here. They are the people who decide what goes and what doesn't go. So we've prayed that God would soften their hearts and let them be open to the stories we have to tell about Jesus. If they're not open, well, we're just praying right now that they will be. We're not worried about that right now. We just pray that God has everything in his hands, and that he wants the word to go forth. And when God wants the word to go forth, there's nothing he can't arrange.
Thumbs up! Thumbs up! Hold. Take a shot. And on your shoulder, okay? Yeah. Making melodies in my heart.
On the way to meet the council, Crystal, Dundee, and Mandy made a few friends and had a bit of fun. As it turns out, the council members ran into some issues and couldn't make the meeting with the Mission 111 team.
This morning, we're not meeting with the council. They met yesterday, and some of our interpreters talked to them, and they decided that they are going to let everyone go back to their villages, all of the kids that were here for the schools, and they're going to bring in everyone today, and they're going to listen to our stories. So we're waiting now for everyone to come in from the different villages so we can start storytelling.
Okay, let's say, God saved the Israelites from slavery. I'm not the best reader, but you know what? One day I could conquer this. Now they thought they could obey all the commandments fully. The school I went to didn't care if I read or not. They just kind of kept me going. And then when I got to high school, They didn't care. They just threw me in a school, in a class, and somehow I graduated. Moses went down to the from the mountain and talked to the Israelites. My goal is to come out here in the future. So once I have it in my heart and in my mind and stuff, I'll be able to go out there and tell the world. This is my stumbling block, and if I can get past this, I think I could do great things for God. But I think, you know what I mean, this is a small one for man, but, you know, for me, it's a big one.
Coming up, the team members fear the worst. Will anyone show up to hear their stories?
We have been waiting here now for 1 hour and 15 minutes, and we are up to 3 people. They are coming. We believe that.
They will come very
But they're
far
so busy.
places.
They're so busy.
Yeah,
They're trying just to survive.
yeah. The Borana people, they are busy in the morning time because of they are milking their cow. They have a milk and yogurt they used to drink for the whole day because they don't have a lunch and a dinner. And they will send their cattle to the place the grass has. And also they are busy to bring the water from very far places. After that, they will be free and they will come and they will attend anytime. That's why they are now late.
Here comes more. All the other elders, you know what I mean?
They just had a discussion, and we were going to get ready to start because we had a pretty good group, but they are actually asking us to wait because they believe that there are people coming from very far to here, and they don't want them to miss the story. So we certainly don't want anybody to miss out that's interested in hearing the gospel. So we're going to wait for a while longer to come. They're just taking some time to explain to them about the stories and how we're going to present them so that they'll kind of know what to expect. They're trying to just basically pave the way for us to actually do the stories themselves. I think they're probably a little nervous. I mean, you know, we're new to their culture, we're foreigners, so I think they're probably a little nervous. It would be expected, I think, if they were to come into our culture, it would be kind of strange as well.
We're about to tell you the greatest story that's ever been told.
For the next 30 minutes, members of the Mission 111 team will share stories with the tribe through what is called chronological storytelling, explaining the events of God's creation, man's sinfulness, and God's love for them. For many tribes like the Borona people, they've never heard of Jesus, and these stories usually come across as very good news.
Well, I feel like it went really well. I think the translators did a fantastic job of preparing the people to hear the message, and they did a fantastic job closing out the session after we did the stories. Without them, this just wouldn't be possible. And from the feedback that they gave us from the people, they said that they liked the stories, that they were very receptive to the stories, and the questions we asked them, they gave us the right answers. They gave us good feedback that they had a good understanding of the story. So I look forward to the days to come.
And while the Mission 111 team is focused on the story of Jesus, the people who live in this region can't help but focus on their need for water.
These nomad people are looking for water, but there's no water up here, so they're going in that direction.
It's a problem that no one on the team was ready for. There's a terrible drought here now, and the team's water supply has been found by local tribespeople. These women are desperate for help, and this problem is dividing the team and causing some major frustration.
If somebody came by right now, I would give it to them.
Mandy, if you give away all of your water,
I'm not saying I'm gonna give all away my.
I just, if you give away your water, say even you give away part of it, and you don't have enough water to sustain you through to the end, and we can't continue to give these people who have never heard about Jesus the gospel, then all that we have done is given them water, and they're going to die and go to hell.
I know who I am and my nature. I can't hold anything back. That when I see someone who needs something,
the fact that they have less water than I do has nothing to do with God being fair or not. It's just they have less water than I do.
I think God is fair. And the reason why I think he's fair, he gives you a Bible. He gives you a Bible and he teaches you how to call out to him, how to ask him, and how to go through the process to find it. They just want to hold out their hands. Instead of holding out their hands to read the Bible, they're holding out their hands to beg.
You are saying that they beg because they beg from men instead of asking God.
Mm-hmm. But they don't know God yet.
And they do not know God yet.
They will know God.
And do not have the Bible. Mm-hmm. And how are they going to read that Bible which they do not have, and even if they have, can't read? Mm-hmm. Then probably you cannot judge them before they get that right way of asking.
If God speaks to me, what if I'm going to give it away? Well, if God speaks to me, then I have to give it out. I have to give it away. Even I don't need to wait until God speaks to me.
The first lady came up and you said yeah, and you gave her a cup. You gave her 2. But then the other people came by and we didn't give them any.
If we say we have faith, then the God that multiplies the loaves and the fish can multiply the water that we have. And that means we don't trust God for the waters.
Well, then let's do it, Dundee.
Amen.
No?
That's how I said.
Yeah, but let's do it.
I think believing in Jesus Christ is not the end of being thirsty and hungry. It's still there's a need of helping people by what we have and by what you can. That is it, because needs are there as long as we are in this world.
So you think we should give all our water away?
Not all the water away. Do the much that you can, okay? Support by give the much water that you have.
You want to know what I think?
But still, it is not godly that someone died because of water while we have little.
Coming up, will the team keep or give away their only supply of water?
Mandy, if you give away all of your water,
I'm not saying I'm gonna give all away my.
If you give away your water,
Who I am and my nature, I can't hold anything back. That when I see someone who needs something, physically.
The team has been arguing over the issue of sharing their water. Their faith is being tested. This is not easy issues to deal with in this very challenging and hot climate. Some is arguing that, of course, God will provide all their means, but some is questioning their faith and now wondering if they do give all their water, will they survive? Will the Mission 111 team be able to withstand this test of faith?
I want the question solved.
Okay.
What are we going to do with the supplies we have inside? Are we going to give away the food too? I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
If you think it's the right thing to do.
You are asking me?
I am. You are the man. You're the mighty man of God.
No.
Now, Dundee.
Well, let's say what we were talking about is not about the waters and the foods. We are talking about the needs.
Yeah,
That should be clear. That should be
but we...
something that have to be clear.
Catching some rain.
While everyone on the team was arguing about whether or not to give their water away, a few drops began falling from above. The Verona region has been experiencing a severe drought for over 3 months, so the timing couldn't be better. But there seems to be a hint of hesitation. The possibility of a selfish sky has these boys anxious. Everyone waits with anticipation, hoping, wishing, and praying.
Lord, I just pray that your rain would pour down. Just pour it down. Pour it down. Pour it down. Pour it down.
We as a group have been praying that it would rain. And it's raining.
This feels amazing. The most spectacular thing since we've come to Ethiopia. We prayed for rain. God is faithful, and it rained. Amen.
I haven't had a shower in a couple days. It's downpour raining. We watched it come in. It feels fantastic. It is wonderful and What a blessing that God is bringing rain to these people.
God was good. He knew I needed a bath, and he knew this land needed water.
It was in 1989 when Carl Hargestum first set foot on African soil, and several thousand miles away, Jennifer touched down in Asia. Since that time, they have served many thousands of people around the world with the hope and love of Jesus. Together, their journey has taken them throughout Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, the Congo, and Kenya. They've also spent significant time on the ground in Indonesia, Pakistan, India, and Sudan. But of course, their journeys began long before that. Carl grew up in the northern region of Sweden, a similar climate to the harsh Canadian north, but a completely different setting from where Jennifer grew up in Southern California. The two of them would eventually make their way and settle in one of the hottest and most challenging places on earth, Ethiopia. Carl has spent the majority of his time finding unreached tribes in the Horn of Africa who have never heard the story of Jesus. Back in Addis Ababa, Jennifer has given her life for the good of others, rescuing and helping those in need. Living in the bush was not easy at first, but it was there that they were able to find the lost, love the unreached, and ultimately fulfill their assignment.
Real missionary work for me is just simply responding to a need, responding to something, not allowing yourself to overlook other people's lives and sometimes their problems.
Missionary by its word is defined as a sent one, a person that is sent. Well, we also believe that we're sent by God with his story to tell the people.
A lot of people think that missionaries are just religious weirdos that are making the calling about themselves and not about really helping other people. You know, I'm not religious, but I do have a relationship with God through his son Jesus Christ, and that changed my life forever. It took my life and gave me love and gave me purpose, and I want other people to experience that. But that's a message of hope. That's a message of love.
The gospel is very simple. Faith in God is also very simple. Religion is not simple. Many times what came along with the missionary was more culture and change of culture that was actually helping them to find peace with God. Somehow that good news story has become bad news through some of the practices of the missionary.
I don't want them to see me being the Savior. I can't save, I can't rescue. But the one that's rescued me, Jesus, he can rescue them too. And that's what I want them to see. I don't want them to see me.
Religion has, throughout the last 2,000 years, in fact, as we define it today, has been a reason of wars and controversy more than anything else. Now, religion, as I define it, religion has not saved any person. Religion, in fact, is man's explanation or system developed on how we can make peace with God. Now, follow these rules and God will be pleased with you. I believe that man has never in its own self been able to live up to those rules, but what we subscribe to is the gospel of Jesus Christ being the good news that I can't measure up to all those rules, but Jesus measured up for me.
The hardest thing that I experienced was the person that picked us up at the airport. He said a few words to me, and one of the words he said pierced my heart, and I think it pierced my heart for a long time. he mentioned to me that he did not know why we were there, and he didn't know if we were needed. And for me, it was a big blow because I just have prepared my whole life to arrive into a country like Ethiopia.
I didn't feel the same as Jennifer, I think, in that regard, that I felt like they were not waiting for me. I felt like what was concerned for me was more than I was true to my assignment rather than I was trying to please people. I think that I was very focused on my assignment. This was the vision and the defining moments that has been forming my life up to this point that I was on a mission to fulfill.
I think after my first culture shocks of coming to a third world country and not getting the welcoming that I had in my mind that I thought I would receive when I didn't receive that was nothing to do about the people. That was about my own emotions. That was about my own feelings. Maybe they don't feel like they need me, but there must be someone or something I can do to make a difference. And I chose the high road. I chose the way to figure out how I can make a difference in the country.
That's what we live for.
That becomes addicting. That becomes what you give your life for.
Join us next week as the team is venturing for the first time into a neighboring village. This normally requires an invitation. They will learn about nomadic life. Little do they know what lies ahead. The spiritual world is about to crack wide open.